Today, Nifty showed a ceasefire rally. The session began with a muted to positive bias. Global cues were the primary driver as markets reacted to a news of a 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. Crude oil prices cooled below the $98 per barrel mark, easing inflation fears for the Indian economy. And Nifty continuous futures opened at 24,172. In the initial action, the traders initially showed some hesitation with the index testing a low of 24,098.8 shortly after the bell. However, strong demand near the 2400 support zone prevented any deep correction. Then what we saw was towards the midday a momentum. Bulls took the reins. By 10:30 a.m., the sentiment shifted decisively bullish. The volume profile began building heavily above the previous day's point of control of 24,193.4. Sectoral push was also there. The rally was led by FMCG and banking stocks with heavyweights like HUL and ICICI Bank providing the necessary heavy lifting. The index successfully crossed the psychological 24,200 barrier, which acted as a floor for the rest of the afternoon. As seen in the 5-minute chart, the price maintained a steady higher high, higher low pattern through the mid-session. Then there was an afternoon surge. In the final 2 hours of trade, the Nifty gained fresh momentum as traders braced for upcoming US-Iran talks over the weekend. The point of control for the day settled at 24,364.2, the level where most volume was traded, indicating significant value building at the upper end of the day's range. As the index approached 24,350, short covering in the derivative segment accelerated the move. And then by the closing bell, we saw a finishing at the peak. The Nifty futures ended the day on a high note, closing at its intraday high of 24,394. So the net gain today is 198.2 points, around 0.82%. The index finished above the crucial level of 24,300 hurdle, a level which has to be considered as an essential for maintaining the medium-term bullish structure. Now let's look at the delta. Initially, we saw an absorption at the floor. Early in the day, despite some selling pressure, you can see the red delta bars there, the price held the 24,100 support area. This indicates large limit buy orders were absorbing the selling, preventing a breakdown. Then there was aggressive late day buying also. The final 45 minutes saw a significant surge in positive delta. Market participants were just waiting for pullbacks. They were aggressively hitting the asks to ensure they didn't miss the move into the weekend. The market formed a textbook step-ladder structure with a sequence of higher highs and higher lows, closing at the absolute intraday peak. Now let's look at the key levels for the next trading session. The level of 24,410 to 24,450, which is an uncharted territory, will become the immediate resistance. Expect heavy offer side activity here. Then 24,364.2, which is the primary high volume node, or you can say the POC, which is today's point of control, is the most significant value node. As long as we stay above this, the bulls are in control. 24,193.4, which is the secondary HVN, which is Thursday's point of control, represents the ultimate safety net for the current rally. So now what is the tactical strategy for Monday? That is April 28th. The current market structure is long biased. The key will be watching if the value area migrates higher or if we see rejection at the open. Now this gives us 3 scenarios. Scenario 1 is a bullish gap up and go. If Nifty opens above 24,400, we look for a continuation of Friday's aggressive delta. You have to wait for the first 15-minute candle. If it stays above the gap and delta is positive, the target is 24,520. Watch for delta exhaustion, that is price rising on lower or red delta, which would signal a trap. The scenario 2 is a test of value, which is a high probability long situation. A pullback to today's point of control of 24,364 is the ideal entry for conservative traders. If the price dips to 24,364 to 24,370, look for a U-turn in delta. If aggressive buyers step back in at this HVM, it confirms the level as a strong support base. A retest of 24,410 and even beyond is expected. That makes the target. Now the third scenario is a fail to follow through, which is a bearish caution also. If Nifty opens flat and immediately breaks below 24,350 on heavy negative delta, Friday's late day buyers will be trapped. This would trigger a mean reversion move. The index would likely seek the next high volume magnet at 24,200. So with this, we'll end today's video. And if you are learning something new from these daily analysis videos, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Mind Monastery, and definitely post your comments so that we can improve on the content. Thank you and happy trading.